Personal Capital Free Personal Management Tool. Set up the free personal management tool. Remove the personal cap on your capital by using the Personal Capital tool. Here we are on the Personal Capital webpage. That's at personalcapital.com, personalcapital.com. We're looking for the free wealth management tool. We shouldn't need any account with Personal Capital or any investment with Personal Capital in order to utilize the free portion of the tool. So you can go through here, you can read through their webpage. We're looking for the free tool down here. This is some information about it. The tool then down below, track and manage your money. And we want to get the free tool. So our goal here, download the free tool, then look at the functionality of that tool, comparing and contrasting with similar softwares or other softwares that have similar types of connectivities and functionalities. So let's go ahead and say get the tool. We do need to sign in, so I will register or create an account here. We then do have a questionnaire before we get access to the free tools. It says, tell us about your goals and so on and so forth, so we can customize our information. Once we go through the questionnaire, then we can link to basically accounts. So they have a wide range of the financial institutions. This was what might be a little bit different than if you were comparing this to something like a QuickBooks or something like that, because you might be linking to institutions and getting balance type data as opposed to mainly the checking account for mainly like personal data if you're talking about a QuickBooks type of scenario. So we're going to go ahead and select a institution here and enter that data. Now, of course, if we wanted to add more accounts, we can add more accounts down below. If we needed something like a PayPal or something like that, that would be different. You could see if they have those options. That something like a PayPal has been a little bit of problems for some of these type of systems that link, like QuickBooks Desktop is a little late to get something like PayPal in there. So it's nice if you can get PayPal, if you have credit card accounts. Once again, those can be put in place as well. Our major focus here is to look at our net worth, basically a balance sheet type of activity. So anything where you have that balance sheet type of activity that's in a financial institution, which would include credit cards, obviously financial institutions, and possibly like a 401k investment type of institution that you can pull in basically the ending balance information and things like a loan or mortgage type of information. You should be able to find many of those institutions here, and you can search for them up top. You can also skip the linking accounts up top, or you can go down below once you've linked an account and say that I'm done linking the account. Well, that has gone away now. I'm going to go ahead and go to the skip up top. So I'll skip this information, and then we've got our general data just from basically the one institution that we put here. So now we got our nice information on the left-hand side and some general information in the middle here. We're basically set up, and then we'll go in through a little bit more detail in future presentations and analyze the data that has been brought in here. Once again, though, just realize that you can do this with multiple types of institutions so that you could basically get a net worth type of calculation. This is something that's a little bit different than if you were going to use like a QuickBooks or something like that, where you're not really pulling in the net worth calculation. You're usually pulling in the transactions to create something like the balance sheet. And even when doing that, most people use a QuickBooks or something like a QuickBooks, which has similar functionality to link to the banks for business purposes. You can use it for personal purposes. I do that as well. But you might want another tool that kind of pulls over the balance sheet information into the system. And this is something that could do that. It's similar to something that used to be used before, which again was the Quicken type of tool, which used to be owned by Intuit as well, and now has an independent company. I haven't had as much detail with them since they departed from QuickBooks, but they're still have similar type of information for the investment type of things. Also realize that you can do a similar kind of functionality with Excel as we looked at before for a balance sheet type of information with a template called Money in Excel, and you can pull it in if you want to do something on like a desktop situation with something like a Money in Excel type of connectivity as well for that balance sheet information. Also note that if you're thinking about something like a QuickBooks, the reports you're typically thinking of, possibly if you're looking at like personal data, might be that income statement type of data, the activity that's happening over time, where again, if you're looking at something like this, personal capital, you might be looking more at your net worth, your balance sheet type of information, assets minus liabilities, and possibly projection into the future.